Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Lo and I'm obsessed with vintage fashion. Today I wanted to do a sort of lookbook, sort of like style how-to sort of video. Basically showing you 3 different base outfits that you can wear for back to school, whether you're a student or a teacher, that are very vintage styled, but also each of the outfits being styled different ways. As of currently filming this video, it's mid-August. I am currently 20 years old and I'm about to enter my last year of college. Sometimes it's weird to remember that it's been that long since I've been in high school. But I did start dressing vintage when I was in high school, so hopefully some of these outfits can resonate with you if you're younger than I am, because I think having fun with fashion is for any age. So with all that being said, let's get into the outfits. So the first style of back to school outfit that I think is appropriate, especially if you're like me and you're starting in summertime, is just a simple short sleeve blouse with a skirt. This outfit is very plain, but very classy and very, very vintage, especially if you are able to do vintage hair, vintage makeup. But even if you're not yet in the stage of regularly styling your hair in a vintage way, that is okay. This outfit feels vintagey enough. I think the fun thing about this outfit is that you can style it differently, like for different maturity levels, just depending on the shoes that you wear. So for example, if I put on a pair of saddle shoes or Keds, I definitely look a lot younger. This is very walkable, you know. These shoes are very comfortable to wear when I'm walking around campus. And I think saddle shoes have a fun, like, studious and scholarly, but kind of like almost juvenile feeling to them. In a good way, in a good way. However, if you swap out these shoes for a pair of flats or kitten heels, which I don't currently own, you instantly get a more mature look. I think that this would be appropriate for like maybe older high school students, like maybe seniors in high school, college students who maybe don't have to do that much walking around, because let me tell you, walking in heels around a college campus hurts. Or if you're a teacher or a professor, I think that this is also just a simple, elegant, classy, mature look. Another way to style this and spruce it up though is to just swap out the skirt color that you're going for. For example, in this outfit, I'm wearing a light blue color scheme, which feels very youthful, feels very cute, feels very kind of pastel, kawaii. But in this outfit, I'm wearing a red skirt and I've decided to match my lipstick to my skirt, and this feels more romantic, more mature, a little bit sassy. And for any of these outfits, you could always just throw a petticoat underneath the skirt for an extra bit of pizzazz, an extra bit of fluff. There's absolutely nothing wrong with enjoying a nice plain staple outfit. But if you're like me and you like the drama, you live for the glamour, you want to feel like a princess every single day of your life, a petticoat can help with that. The next outfit style, which might be a bit more appropriate if you live in a cooler climate, is a sweater and a plaid skirt. So in this base example, I'm actually wearing just a cardigan buttoned up with a collar underneath and a skirt over it. The cardigan is very lightweight, so I would be able to wear this even on a warm day. But if your back to school season doesn't start until September, or again if you live in a colder place, you might be able to get away with wearing like an actual heavy knit sweater. As I said in my favorite tops video that I did, my first video on this channel, I really like wearing collegiate looking sweatshirts with a collar underneath, because I feel that that looks very vintage. It very much reminds me of the 40s and early 50s pictures of like college students and high school students. I always style my sweaters and my sweatshirts with a collar underneath. I think it instantly makes it look more vintage. Something else that I think is really fun with sweater outfits is just adding a brooch. And if you don't own a brooch, if you have any kind of pin, you can schmooze it off as a brooch. I think it instantly makes an outfit look even more vintage and a bit more mature. The last outfit base that we're going with is just a dress. Obviously, different schools have different dress codes. If you're in high school, you might not be able to wear a dress like the one that I'm wearing because it does show my shoulders. But if you're in college, this might be a little bit easier for you. But basically, just wearing a dress is really easy. You don't have to put that much thought into what am I gonna pair this top with? What am I gonna pair this skirt with? You can just throw the dress on and walk out into the world. However, you can also style it in different fun ways. So I wanted to go for 3 different looks with this dress: studious, fun and flouncy, and mature. So for the studious look, I just threw a cardigan over my shoulders and put my hair up in a ponytail. And shoes can also help with this. I personally didn't think that my saddle shoes would go great with this dress, so I threw on my Keds instead. For the fun and flouncy look, I just took my hair back out of the ponytail, popped a petticoat underneath my dress, added a belt, and wore some fun earrings. I am a huge proponent of big fun earrings. This is not very vintage, it's just my own personal style. If you're like me, and again, you love dramatic, fun, flouncy looks, highly recommend investing in some big, avant-garde, insane earrings, or just making your own like I did with these. This is kind of like a fun art student look, almost. I really feel like I look like an art student who is training to be like an art teacher. Like this is like Miss Frizzle meets art student. And for the last styling with this dress, for the mature look, I kept the belt, got rid of the petticoat, kept my flats, buttoned up a cardigan over top of it, and added some just very small, very dainty earrings. I think that this looks very put together, very kind of kindergarten teacher-esque almost. And again, all 3 of these outfits were styled with the same dress and the same shoes, just different hairstyles and different accessories with it. So these were all the outfits that I wanted to show you guys today. 3 base outfits with a few different stylings for each. I hope that this helps you generate ideas on how to start wearing vintage style at school or at work, or even just around the house or going grocery shopping. Whatever it is and whatever you're doing with your life, you deserve to wear clothes that make you feel comfortable and confident. If you like this video, don't forget to subscribe. I upload videos every Wednesday, and I think coming soon I'll be doing a couple haul videos, so if you like those, keep your eyes peeled, they're coming. Thanks so much for watching, so much love, bye.